Hey, what's up guys, this is Bellagio. I hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is very special for me because I have been working on it for a year. I got an idea since last anniversary, 11th anniversary, that I want to do something that answer all of your questions related to pooling, related to how many gems, related to questions like what are the chances. So all those questions that came up from many of you guys asking the same question, even myself asking the same question, like, hey, I want some guru to tell me, to give me like recommendations on what to do, what to prepare in terms of pooling the new units and gyms and all those stuff. So that's why kind of drive me to do this video. And so I started collecting data, especially my pooling data from last year up until this point today. Okay, so it's been a long work. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you are ready, let's dive into it. So first thing first, I actually mentioned about this in my previous video, or in some of my previous videos, talking about the drop rate. But just in case you guys didn't watch it and you guys are new to OPTC, just so you know that the drop rate, Bandai, when Bandai gave you any banners, okay, we have everything now. When Bandai give you every banners, if you go to drop rate, you can see that the new feature unit is going to have 0.5% drop rate regardless. Okay, so it's like this one here, Burgess and Shiryu, is going to have 0.5 drop rate. And if the units are introduced in part, let's say part 1, usually part 1 is the part that all the units are in there. You have a chance to pull all of them. So in this case, let's give an example of Crocodile and Mihawk. That's one new legend. And another legend is Burgess and Shiryu. If you go to the drop rate, you will see that these two units combined, it's going to be 0.5. Okay? So as you can see, Burgess, Shiryu 0.25, combine them, that's 0.5. So Bandai has been keep doing this since day one, okay? Since the day we know the rate. And that was like, 2015. So yeah, just want to point this out so that everyone's on the same page. 0.5% is always the rate that the new unit is featured, okay? And what does that mean by 0.5%? So theoretically, this is theoretically, 0.5% means every 200 posters, there's going to be one there's going to be one new unit in there. So this is on average, okay? It's not guaranteed. There's nothing guaranteed on the probability until it's said guaranteed, okay? Alright, so 0.5%, you know the meaning. That is theoretically meaning the average of 200 poster, or equivalent to, let's say, 18 to 20 multiples. In this case, just for simplicity, we're just going to assume it's 20 multiples, okay? Now, let's move on to the raw data that I've been collecting since last year. Okay, so yeah, this is the Excel sheet that I put down all my recording, all my result related to each legends that came out since last year. So these are the number of the pool, at what pool that I acquired the units, and if this is just a record of is it a +1 poster or not. And on this column here is just a record on either it's a guaranteed one, which is the pity unit, pity pool. Yeah, some of them are 25 because they are could be Rumble, Pirate Rumble, or it could be treasure map. Okay, but yeah, these are 60 banners, but I also included in my calculation today's banner that I pulled this morning. Okay, so I actually record 30 multi-pulls on my videos, so you guys can go watch it. It's kind of funny until the end. I mean, it's kind of funny towards the end of the second video. If you want to know why it's funny, you have to go watch it. And just so you know, I did the off-screen another 30 multiples on the exact same part 1, and then I managed to get 5 copies of, sorry, not 5 copies, I managed to get 5 new units, okay? Unfortunately, 4 of them are dupes, they are Shanks, so I managed to get 4 Shanks from that, and then I got Bucky's as my guaranteed one on the 60 pool. Alright, so just want to tell you that I record all these and then use the numbers to plot a graph and then present to you in this video. So let's talk about this graph right here. The 0.5 drop rate is this line here, the red dashed line. That is going to be our theoretically lines, 20 pools on average, you should get the new unit. However, the average based on my real data that I will get the new unit is between 10 to 11 multipools. And that is this green dashed line, okay? So as you can see here, at the very beginning of 11 Annie, I got really lucky, you know, most of them are like within below 10 pools. But then sometimes I gotta go up high, and then, you know, you get lucky, you get Bandai gives, Bandai take, Bandai gives, Bandai takes, Bandai give, Bandai take, gives and takes. It's kind of like, you kind of see the pattern. If you get something like lucky 4 or 5 times in a row, expect maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or even 4 a bad luck, and then you will get lucky again. It's kind of cycles, you know. Just want to point out that happens to me. Maybe it might not happen to you guys, but I think it will. You will see this some sort of a trend. Anyway, if I considered 1 to 5 pools, then you will see the green. Anything that is green color, those are 19 out of 62 banners that I pull, and that's considered about 30.6% that I managed to get. So 19 out of 62%, so 19 out of 62 times that I pull, I managed to get the new legends within the first 5 pulls. So you can consider that lucky, okay? Then the average would be the purple. You can be a little bit higher, but I would say 6 to 14 is considered a majority of what I have been pulling that I get the new units. And then the unlucky time would be anything that is brown color that I have to go beyond 16. Beyond 14, so 15 to 24 multi that I have to do, okay? And then there were like 7 times that I get to go all the way until the guaranteed one, the pity one. So that's an unlucky one. It does happen, and it's about 10% right now. That's the number. All right. Okay. Next, I want to answer you. You guys might have a questions like, okay, how come in reality, the average of getting the new unit is around 10 to 11 pools, and that's because it's explained here. That is because of the system of +1 poster bonus. That does not get included in our theoretically estimation or calculation. In a theoretically calculation, we just say 0.5. No, you know, this 0.5, there's no effect. There's no accumulating. There's nothing related to previous pool. It's just like you flipping a coin, an unfair coin, all over again. Yeah. So that's why the theoretically number is actually higher than our reality. And yeah, just want to point that out, that because of the +1 bonus and then the special steps actually boost the chance that we will get the new unit. Okay, but still, there's nothing guaranteed until it said guaranteed, which is the pity systems. You gotta pull up until most of the banners until 30th banners. Okay. All right. Next, let's discuss about sweet spot. Okay. I'm going to divide this into 5 multi-step inclination. So if you divide that into 5 multi-step inclination, then the first 5 multis, according to the data that I have been recording the whole year, I would won 19 times, meaning I would get the new legends within the first 5 units 19 times, and that's about 30%. Okay, so if you have a questions like, hey, what is the percentage that you will get the new unit within the first 5 multis? That is 30%. Okay, and then what is the percentage that you will get the new legends within 10 multis? And that answer is 60%. Okay, and actually this is what I'm going to say. The sweet spot is actually 10 multis. As you can see here, based on my data, so 60% and that I won the new legends out of 62 banners is actually like 36 times that I got the new legends out of 62 banners, 62 try. Yeah, this 2 green colors here is the sweet spot. The more you pull, the increase of 5 multi inclination, you can see that the returns are starting to drop significantly. So in terms of money investment and the return, this is where you want to stop. This is where you want to stop at 10 multis. So beyond that, the return is not as good as the first 10 multi. That's what I want to point out. So keep in mind, even I said sweet spot is at 10 multi, it's still somewhat like it could be 480 gems or even 500s. So on some multis, the first one has what, 30 gems pool, or some multis, you know, you can just use your tavern. But let's just say we don't have any of that. It's going to be 500 gems. So I put down here 480 gems because I considered the first one is 30 gems cost. But yeah, anyway, it's still quite a lot. 480 gems or 500 gems. It's gonna be tough for those of you who are free-to-play players, and for those of you who have like a tight budget. All right. Yeah. Now we covered the sweet spot. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Now, you know the trend that Bandai's nowadays. You can see the in the past year, 2025-26, we started to see Bandai's introducing new things like Super Tendon tablet, that golden tablet. You know, they try to encourage you, indirectly encouraging you to pull and then try to like rainbow level up to 150, meaning you might not be satisfied by just getting one unit, one copy anymore. Sometimes I myself asking myself like, hey, do I need 2 units here if I want to compete, you know, in whatever mode I want to do. If I want to get higher rank, I'm not going to be satisfied with just 1 copy of the new legend. For example, this new 12th anniversary, people's gonna want to pull more duplications, right? So it's kind of give me an idea of new questions like, hey, if we are going all the way to 30 multis anyway, what is the chance of you know, the new legends, the dupe that could come out within 30 multi, including the guaranteed one? So based on my data, I also made a projection. Okay, so this is what I found. So if if you are pulling all the way to 30% to 30 multis, worst case scenario, let's start with worst case scenario. There are 5.33% chances that you will not get anything all the way up to the 30th multi, the guaranteed one, the pity one. There are 5.33% that you will not get anything until the guaranteed only. Meaning 1 in every 19 players who do this will get this bad luck, okay? And it's really bad because you are spending 1,500 gems, and that's equivalent to almost 500 bucks. 500 bucks, and you still get one copy. That's really bad, okay? But inversely, what does it mean? It means that inverse, like there are 94.67%, 18 players out of 19 players will get more than 2 copies of the new units, okay? So this kind of explained to me like, hey, like, you know, my video, I did all the way to 30 multis and then I managed to get 2 copies. I fall into this 94.76. Sorry, 67. I was really close to be like this one guy out of 19 players. And then the second time that I tried, this was off screen. So I did the second 30 multis on part 1, and then I managed to get 5 of the new units. And that, considered myself, would be, where is that? At least 3 copies. It should be somewhere here. Hold on. Yeah, I would be here, right here. And that is what percentage? I don't remember. Well, here, around 16%. Okay. So, yeah. Oh, right here the graph's still talking about sweet spot again. Sweet spot is around 60%, as I mentioned. Yeah. Yeah, if you have to do all the way to 30 multis, the question would be how many legends that you're likely to get, including the duplicate. How many duplicates, the new legends that you will get if you go all the way to 30%. The average, based on my calculation, is 3.77. So you should get 3.77 on average. Yeah, duplication if you go all the way to 30, and that's including the guaranteed one. So most of the people are gonna get at least 3 or 4. Okay, if you're unlucky side, you can get 2, because that is still considered lower than average. If you get 3, that's kind of okay. You are at the average. So either 3 or 4, you are at the average. But if you get 5 or more, you consider yourself lucky. Okay. So, does it really worth to go all the way to 30? If you are free to play, and if you are tight budget dolphin, I wouldn't recommend you to do this, unless you be picky about what banner you are going to pull. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna use this information about sweet spot, gems. How sweet spots related to gems and money, and then player types. We're going to talk about this in the next video. But for this video now, we're going to just wrap up. Just so you know, the key taking here is that sweet spot 10 multis is the answer for most of you, and it's still expensive. Kind of want to hint you that you cannot pull every banners. In one whole year, you have to pick, okay? And then, yeah, play the game for fun, and never let the game play you, okay? So, I hope you find this video useful for your future decision on whatsoever banners that's coming out. And if you like this video, please hit that like, and if you have not, please hit subscribe so that you don't miss the future content from me. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.